Okay, so this is my first yoga video, and there's no way to can't tell what you can see. There we go. Move this stuff out of the way. All right, hello, my yogins. If you're there, I know how to use this. It doesn't look like any. Oh, no, I have one student. I can't see who it is, but I can see that there's one student there, and I won't be able to see once I start class. So I'm going to back up and we'll maybe chat towards the end. So hopefully you've created a little space for yourself to participate. I don't think we use this light. Yeah, maybe you can see better that way. First of all, let me start by saying I miss you guys terribly. I've been texting a few, and I am still doing my walking group on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So if anybody is getting stir crazy, I invite you to come and join us. We can keep our 6 feet space away from one another if you so choose, because it's outdoors. We're meeting at the Tanger Family Bicentennial Gardens. I know some of you don't get up by 9 o'clock in the morning to be out and about, but we're out there, and so are plenty of other people, because I think everyone's kind of getting stir crazy. I invite you to jump in on that before we're all on lockdown. So we will be out there tomorrow at 9 a.m. So let's go ahead and get started on our practice today. So I invite you to sit well. Come to the edge of your seat, soften your gaze, or close the eyes if it feels comfortable to do so. Becoming grounded. So if you are, like me, eating more than your daily share of recommended daily allowances, then you may feel a little heavy and a little grounded anyway. But for this practice, let's feel our feet connected to the earth. Feel your sits bones connected to the seat. Check that pelvic girdle. Make sure that the sits bones feel balanced left to right, front to back, that you're not rounding the pelvis back or arching it forward. Lift through the crown of the head. Bring the hands to heart center. And let's chant 3 times together today, just to create that vibration, stirring our energy, creating that vibration of health and wellness. So together, inhale. Exhale and bow the head. Smiling into that beautiful heart center, that light within. Release the hands, open the eyes, and lift the head. Interlace those fingers, turn the palms to face out. Feeling that little subtle stretch in the fingers and the wrists. And if your shoulders and unmedicated high blood pressure allow for it, bring those hands up and overhead. Reaching through the heels of the hands. And to get our deep breathing, creating space for those lungs in, let's extend that left heel of the hand a little higher than the right. Take a deep inhale. We've created space for those lungs. Now let's breathe into them. Beautiful. Inhale back to center. And then inhale, extend that right palm a little higher than the left. Deep inhale. Woo, feeling that space. Then back to center. Good. Release those hands down. Let's get our twists in. Inhale up. Exhale, twist to the right. Whew, for some of us, those spines might be a little stiff if you've been sitting on the couch Netflix marathoning like I have. Inhale, exhale, left. That feels yummy, doesn't it? Inhale. So, you know that, and we've had this conversation in our classes that getting those arms moving up and down is stimulating the lymphatic system. There's a lot of lymphatic drainage right here in the breast, chest area, and under the arms, right? So we want to get movement in there to create health, build our immunity. So we're on the left now. Let's do one more on the right. Inhale, exhale, right. Now this time, without straining the neck, strain those eyes by looking over that shoulder as far as you can. Look up. So next month we're moving into, in April, we're moving into Aries. So we'll be doing some exercises. Not sure how we're going to do this on video, but probably have to do a lot of direction through it. But you know, stimulating the eyes, getting in the brain and the head for Aries, focus. So look, so let's warm up for that. Look over that shoulder as far as you can. Look up, look down, look all around. Inhale, exhale, last time to the left. Again, look up, look down, look all around, stretching those eye muscles. Good. Inhale back to center. You know me, I'm going to have to start moving articles of clothing. I'm starting to get warm now. Let's go ahead and do our favorite pose, not the kitchen sink, triangle pose. So come to this side of your chair, whatever that looks like for you. And because my space is limited, I'll be moving props around. Starting into Tadasana, again, getting that feeling, that sense of being firmly grounded. So weight is in the heels, grounding in all four corners of the feet, but weight in the heels. Lift those arches. Engage those thighs. Lift the pit of the abdomen. Lift the heart center. Actively extend the hands down. So feel that sense of being firmly grounded. Beautiful. And on the inhale, let's bring the feet apart about 3 feet, 3.5 feet, wherever is comfortable for you. Turn that right leg out 90 degrees, the left foot about 15. So the left heel should be further away from you than the toes. The right foot should be pointing straight towards the chair. The right knee should be pointing straight towards the chair as well. And then move that right sits bone to that left inner thigh until you feel that beautiful hamstring, the back of that right leg, screaming for joy. Bring the hands up parallel. Reach out over that right foot. Reach out over that right foot. Reach as far as you can. Then lower the right hand. Lift the left hand up perpendicular. My shoulder people, you know, this is not what's important. If you want to bring that hand back to the sacrum, if that shoulder is not feeling the reaching for the sky, then just bring the hand back to the sacrum, because it's not about drawing that hand back behind you, right? It's about opening that heart center up. Beautiful. Now we want to feel the hamstring here, right? We want to get that nice feeling in the hamstring by keeping this right thigh firmly engaged, by keeping that hip moving in that direction. But since we're in the midst of this pandemic and we which is a respiratory issue. You know, we're in the month of Pisces, which is water. And so I want to keep things fluid and moving and motion, but we definitely want to focus even more on the breath, the lung area. So lengthening through both side bodies, right? You don't want to have any kind of a crunching, rounding in this rib and crunching on this right side. You want to think about lengthening through both sides of the body. Create space for those lungs. Notice if your ribs are protruding forward or back, and try and find that Goldilocks center as well. Creating as much space, comfort, neutrality, balance for our lungs, and deep, healthy breathing. Beautiful. All right, from here, let's inhale and come back up to stand. Exhale, turn both feet to face the front. Inhale, bend the knee. Exhale, bring those feet together. Let's go to the other side. So, starting in Tadasana, getting all of those actions, grounding through the four corners, especially in the heels. Weight in the heels, engage the thighs, lift the pit of the abdomen, lift the heart center. Awesome. And on the inhale, bring those feet apart. 3.5 feet. Turn that left leg out 90 degrees, the right foot about 15. Move that left sits bone to that right inner thigh, feeling that joy in the back of that left leg. Hands are up parallel. Reach out over that left foot. Reach, 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 and then lower the left hand. Bring the right hand up perpendicular. Take a peek down at that knee. Make sure that knee is tracking over the second toes, the center toes. Notice if you can lengthen a little bit more in these ribs. So there was something that I read at some point about not only reaching. So you're reaching with your right hand away from your left hand, but also think of extending. So a lot of times when you think about extending, you can get even more space. So you're reaching one hand from the other, but see if you can extend from that right shoulder through the fingertips, extend from that left shoulder through the fingertips, extend the crown away from the tailbone, lengthening this way, lengthening this way, side to side, and top to bottom, right? And since this really is a hamstring stretch, along with all the other pieces and parts that we're working on, lengthening from this left hip down to the heel. Good. Enjoying. Inhale, coming back up to stand. Exhale, turn both feet to face the front. Inhale, bend the knee. Exhale, bring the feet together. Nice. You know how much I love twists, so let's do a revolve triangle. Actually, I'm going to get this a little bit closer. I'm going to do the first one facing you. Most of my students know how to do this, but just in case there's new students, welcome, by the way, if there are out there, then so you have a visual on how to do that. Inhale, lift the heart center. Exhale, hinge forward, bringing the hands down to the chair seat. So for me, you can choose whichever foot you want to do facing the camera should you so choose. I'm going to bring my left foot forward, my right foot back, keeping both knees straight because this is a triangle pose, Parivrtta Trikonasana. So both knees are straight. You want enough length so that you can maybe feel a little stretch in that back calf and maybe a little stretch in this front hamstring. Might as well get all the pieces in there, right? I'll bring my right hand, so whichever foot is back, that's the hand that you'll bring under the face, and whichever foot is forward, that hand will come up towards the ceiling, or again, if your shoulders are crunchy, you can just bring that hand to the sacrum behind. Inhale, press into the hand on the chair, and open that heart center up towards the front leg, right? So Parivrtta Trikonasana, you're opening towards the front leg. Inhale, soak, maybe relax out of the pose a little bit. Exhale, see if you can open a little more. Now again, the opening is not this hand moving this way. It's more the shoulder moving this way, right? So inhale, soak. Exhale, squeeze. Think about squeezing these lungs, right? Creating mobility, flexibility there. Inhale, soak. This is not a huge action. I'm making it a little bigger so that you can see. Inhale, soak. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, soak. Exhale, squeeze. Beautiful. Exhale, bring the front hand down, whichever one that is for you. And then step that back foot forward and switch feet. So now I'm going to have my right foot forward and my left foot back. Let me come to the other side. So I'm still facing the camera. You can switch sides too if you wish. So grounding in both feet, bringing the back hand under the face, keeping both knees straight, the front thigh especially firmly engaged, opening that front shoulder up towards the ceiling, whether it's the hand or the shoulder, whatever feels comfortable for you. Inhale, soak. Exhale, squeeze. See if you got a little bit deeper twist in there. Inhale, soak. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, soak. Exhale, squeeze. Beautiful. Exhale, bringing that hand back down to center. And then stepping the back foot forward. Soften those knees and inhale, come back up to stand. Nice. So, I have a confession. It's a little more challenging doing a YouTube video without the interaction of my students because my students know that I don't plan my classes before I do them. And it's nice to have the input of the students to know what everybody needs in a particular day. But again, since we're coming to really the tail end of our Pisces month of the feet, I want to do a few little things to open up the feet a little bit more. So let's come to our chairs again. You'll turn both knees to the right. Have that left cheek come off the front of your seat ever so slightly. And then you'll bring that left knee down towards the floor. Now, since we're focusing on the foot, if the left knee this is as far as you can go, then that's fine. Make sure the toes are curled back towards the knee. So you're getting a little opening in that arch of the foot. Now, this is Warrior One or partial Warrior One, Virabhadrasana 1. So if you can go into the full pose and stretch that heel, that left heel all the way back, fine. If, keeping it here, do you, right? So you're getting a nice little stretch in the hip flexor, the front of that left hip. You're getting a nice little stretch in, hopefully, the toes and the foot. So again, this is going to be another one we're going to soak and squeeze. So inhale, soak that knee. Exhale, squeeze as if you're going to bring that heel flat down on the floor. Now make sure that the toes are pointing in the same direction as the knee and they're not pointing out towards the front, right? So you really want to open the arch of that foot up. You want to feel the arch of that left foot. Inhale, soak the knee down. Exhale, press that heel back. Inhale, soak. Exhale, squeeze. Beautiful. Inhale, bringing that leg back up. Let's go to the other side. So, right knee comes towards the floor. Toes are curled straight towards the knee. This may be enough for you. If you can go a little further, you can extend that heel back behind you. Lower the knee down to stretch the arch of the foot. Stretch those toes towards the knee. And then exhale, extend that heel back as if you're going to try and bring it flat down on the floor. Inhale, soak. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, soak. Exhale, squeeze. Beautiful. Inhale, bring that back to center. All right. Let's do a side angle, intense side angle stretch. I did most of these on my Monday as well because, again, in this time of respiratory concern, we want to create as much space for the lungs and the side bodies as we possibly can, right? So we're doing Parsva Konasana. So bring those knees back to the right. You want to have the right knee stacked over the right ankle and bring slide back a little bit. Bring that left foot as far as you can where you can keep the entire foot flat on the floor, the knee straight. So if bringing it forward is as far as you have in your wheelhouse, that's fine. Ideally, you want to bring it all the way so that you are completely parallel to the front and back of your chair or the screen or whatever it is you want to utilize as a reference point. So the ankles, which we worked on last month, are air, right? So getting that stretch, that mobility, that strength in the ankles, it's all connected, right? So if you can get mobility, movement in the ankles, then you're already supporting the air, that air aspect of yourself, the lungs, right? So for some of us, pressing into the outer edge of that left foot feels a little strenuous on the ankles. Just know that you're supporting space and movement and fluidity in the lungs in doing so. So press into the outer edge of that left foot. Press the heel a little further away from you than the toes. Bring that right elbow to the right knee. Swing that left arm up and over. Now this is a great opportunity to not only stretch, so think about stretching the left fingertips away from the outer left foot, but also think about extending from that left shoulder to the fingertips. So inhale here and exhale, extend. Woo, can you feel that stretch in the whole side body? You just created more space for those lungs, more space for breathing. Now let's do the same thing on the lower extremities. So inhale here and exhale, extend from that left hip down to that outer left foot, pressing firmly into that outer left foot. Inhale here, and this time let's extend the hips from the shoulders. So creating more space in the torso where the lungs are located, right? So inhale here, exhale, extend the shoulders away from the hips away from the shoulder. I mean, I don't know about you, but I felt a little, I feel like I'm an inch taller right now. Lengthening, and I'm breathing deeply. Inhale and exhale, extend one more time, all the bits and pieces. Good, and then inhale, let's come back up to center. Let's go to the other side. So, knees to the left knee stacked on top of the ankle. They need to come this way a little bit. Right foot, and you know, all sides are created individually. So this side where you might have been able to create more a more open pose on the left side, the right side may not be as open. So you know, do you? So if it's out in front, or if you can bring it all the way out, open, parallel, perpendicular to whatever. So anyway, the legs in the opposite direction. Press into the outer edge of that right foot. Press the heel further away from you than the toes until you can feel a gentle little subtle stretch in that right ankle. And then bring that left elbow to the left knee. Swing that right arm up and over. Extend from the outer edge of the right foot to the fingertips. Or stretch from the outer edge of the foot to the fingertips. Extend from the right shoulder to the fingertips. Inhale. Exhale, extend, and then inhale. Exhale, extend from the hip down to the outer edge of the left foot. And then inhale and exhale, extend the shoulders away from the hips. You are as long as you can possibly be. Inhale, extend all the bits and pieces one more time. Enjoy. Then inhale, come back up to sit. And bring everything back to center. How are we doing on time? We got plenty of time. All right. I didn't bring any props in here. Well, I have props. I didn't invite you to bring props. If you're like me, I've been sitting more than usual since I'm not teaching my, 8 classes a week, 8, 10. I am teaching 2 of them because I'm doing the walking group. My 8 classes a week. So one of the things that we could stretch a little bit more is probably these quads and thighs and the hip flexor. So I'm going to give you 2 different options. I'm going to get a strap, and you can use, a towel. I have one student that uses a scarf. Miss you, Jane. So, whatever you can use. So different options here. You can use the strap to clasp your foot like so. You can bring your foot to the chair like so. If you're bringing the foot to the chair, that's going to give you an opportunity to open that arch, that's the word. Open that arch a little bit more, or if you can clasp the foot, then do so. So if you can clasp the foot, I see a lot of different things, right? I see the knee out here, I see the leaning forward, and wherever you are, that's fine. No, that's fine, right? So here's what we want to work on though. We want to work on standing straight, bringing that weight into the standing heel, right? Standing straight, lifting the pit of the abdomen, and then work to bring the knees side by side, right? So we may be here to begin with. That's okay. Work to bring those knees side by side. And then once you get into your deepest version of the pose, lift the pit of the abdomen. It's going to give you a little more stretch in that thigh, a little more stretch on that hip flexor, right? So now the real work begins. Let me turn sideways so you can see. So the knee may start here. You want to bring the knee here, side by side. Now, inhale and exhale. Press that foot into the hand or strap or whatever you happen to be using as if you're trying to break loose. You're activating that thigh. And then on the inhale, you might be able to bring that heel a little bit closer, a little more mobility, a little more flexibility. Inhale here, exhale. Break loose, activate that thigh, and inhale. See if you got a little more in there. Exhale, break loose, and inhale, deepen. Lift the pit of the abdomen, get as much length. Drop that knee towards the floor. Feel that stretch in the whole front body. Whew, man, that's yummy. Let's do the other side. All right, so again, use the strap, use the chair, whatever works for you. Bringing the opposite foot into the hand. Again, if you're here, work towards this. If you're here, work towards this. Side by side, the knees side by side. And then let's start the work. So inhale here, exhale, break loose, press into that hand, and then deepen the stretch. Lift the pit of the abdomen. Exhale, break loose, and inhale, pull it in. Exhale, break loose, and inhale, deepen. Lift the pit of the abdomen, drop that knee. Get as much juice and joy as you possibly can in there. All right, and release. All right. Let's get some chest and shoulder openers. So bring those knees wide. Bring the backs of the hands to the inside of those knees. So we're strengthening the backs of these shoulders here to begin with, right? Opening the hips a little bit and strengthening the upper back and shoulders. So on the inhale, bring the backs of the hands. On the inhale, lift that heart center, and exhale, press into those hands, press into those knees as if you're trying to go into a full-on split. You should feel a little tension in the upper back and shoulders. That's good. We're working on strengthening there, right? And relax. Inhale here. Exhale, press, lift that heart center, press, 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 press. Slow exhale, inhale, relax. Inhale again and exhale. Press, 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 press. And relax. So again, hopefully feeling a little strain, a little strengthening in this upper shoulders and back, right? Now I'm going to turn sideways so you can see. Clasp the hands behind and roll those shoulders back. Good. Lift the heart center, lower the chin. Lift the heart center, lower the chin, drop those hands towards the floor. Lift the heart center, lower the chin, drop the hands down. Drop the fist from behind down, right? Opening that chest. And then I'm coming forward so you can see. Keeping the legs together. We'll lean forward, lift the fist up towards the ceiling. Exhale, inhale. See if you can bring that fist all the way overhead and back down until you touch the floor. Ish, right? All right, inhale here. Exhale, lengthen a little bit more. Good. And then inhale, coming back up to sit. Roll those shoulders out. Bring that left hand up as if you're patting yourself on the back. Bring the right hand over. pull that arm right in as if you're making a large ear here, right? This is cow's face pose. So like you're making a large ear here. Lift that left elbow up towards the ceiling. Reach the hands down further down the back, creating length in the whole left side of the body, right? So you're extending this elbow up towards the ceiling, but it also, remember we're, think about extending from this outer shoulder blade back here, this outer shoulder blade up towards the ceiling so that it moves up. So it's not a movement in the ribs like this, right? It's that shoulder blade extending up, creating space, getting mobility, breaking that fascia away, right? From the ribs, creating more space for those lungs. Breathing deeply and release. Let's do the other side. So pat yourself on the back with the right hand, lift that right elbow up, use the left hand to help roll that arm in. Again, notice my head's not leaning over, right? The head stays upright. Lift that elbow up towards the ceiling, drop the hand back towards the back. And I just noticed that my ribs are moving forward. So watch that this isn't happening. Draw those ribs in so that the spine is tall and straight. And go from this angle. Not this, and just extending from here. And then extend that shoulder blade out and up. Deep breath. Nice. All right, and release down. So I don't know what height your chair is. Mine is a little taller than the ones that we typically use. So I'm going to sit on one of my bolsters so that ideally we can get the shoulder blades up and over the back of your chair. So whatever chair you're using, if you're at home, you've probably got blankets or towels or different chair heights and stuff, but you want these shoulder blades, those wings back here, to be able to come over the chair back, right? And then we'll interlace the hands behind the head and just allow those shoulder blades to relax over that chair back, creating space in that whole front body, opening the heart center, opening those low ribs. So the elbows are out to the sides. There should be little to no strain anywhere in the body, except maybe the fingers holding the head up, right? We want to feel those lungs lengthening, those ribs, those front ribs lengthening, opening up towards the ceiling. Deep breathing. This should give us loads and loads of space to breathe deeply. Inhale and exhale. Slow the inhale and exhale. Find any opportunities to release last little bits of stress and tension in the mind, body, or spirit, right? Create space. Create length. Breathe. And then inhale, slowly come back up. We're ready for our version of Shavasana. So make yourself as comfortable as you can possibly be. And you don't need to see my whole body now, so I'm going to come a little closer. So a mudra that's really good for lung support is folding the index finger into the thumb mound and touching the middle finger to the tip of the thumb, and then keeping the ring finger and the pinky finger extended out. So it looks like this. All right, so sit well. Bring your back to the chair back. Have your feet firmly planted on the floor. And let's practice our slow, deep breathing. So I invite you to soften the gaze or close the eyes if it feels comfortable to do so. So, with all of this talk and hubbub about the pandemic, especially if you're holed up at home, you're probably watching the news or listening to the news or reading the news, and it just creates more and more stress and tension. And the challenge with that is that this stress and tension compromises our immune system. So, science has proven that meditation, deep breathing, yoga, all of these things improve the immune system while stress compromises, fear compromises. So, I've had conversations in the past about water, the importance of keeping yourself hydrated. And with every, of course, the norm is to have 8 ounce glasses of water a day minimum in and any glass of coffee, cup of coffee that you have, any soda that you have, any glass of alcohol that you have, you should add an additional 8 ounces for each one of those that you have to create that balance, right? To maintain that balance. Well, I challenge you to do the same with news right now. So for every half hour or hour that you're watching the stressful news in this time, then balance that time with meditation, deep breathing, slowing yourself down, slowing the thoughts, slowing the breath. Maintain balance. Maintain your positive thoughts. Listen to what your body most needs. Follow your intuition. So I did a blog recently with a dear friend of mine, or a podcast with a dear friend of mine recently. And one of the things that she asked me in this time of stress and tension, if you're riding down the road and you notice a spike in your stress or tension, what do you do? The number one thing that comes up for me is create vibration. So, vibration is healing, right? We are energetic beings. Vibration shifts our energy instantaneously. So, sing, chant, do something, hum, create a vibration to shift your energy. And I've had clients and students ask me, well, how do you know what pitch? Follow your intuition. So if you naturally gravitate to a high C or a low D, your body, your intuition knows what you need in that moment. So trust yourself, your inner light. Create that vibration, create shift. So let's take one more deep inhale into your beautiful bodies. And exhale fully. Begin to wiggle the fingers and toes. I am so grateful for each and every one of you. I miss laughing and playing and enjoying each other's inner lights. I can visualize and see each and every one of you sitting in front of me, and it brings joy to my heart. Find more and more of that space in your day. And reach out and virtually touch someone, whether it's through the phone, Facebook Live, Zoom. Reach out and touch someone. Namaste. Thank you for joining today. Again, feel free to throw in some comments. I will post another live video on Friday, 9:30 is my intention. Life is crazy for all of us, so I may or may not do it. Any of my students, if you would please notate yourself as present in the comments, or email me or text me or let me know that you were here so that I can get some credit for you participating, and that you can get credit for participating. Um, I look forward to seeing you on Friday. Namaste.